Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. Happy March 15th. It's a new week. And back by popular demand, we are continuing our reading of Your Faith is Your Fortune by Neville Goddard. We got into just the fourth chapter, Whom Seek Ye, and got into some good stuff about how God, the Lord, the Father is all our subconscious mind, that the kingdom of heaven is within, that it's all inside. And I love this stuff. I'm a big nerd when it comes to kind of delving in and studying all the powers that be, and my love of just personal development from a spiritual standpoint. I think Neville Goddard is one of the best kind of interpreters, especially of like the Bible and stuff like that, because it can be so, out there, and people can feel, especially if you haven't been religious or you don't believe in God, kind of hearing this interpretation can be really helpful. So, and I've gotten so much feedback. Like, this reading has been the most, I just think that people are so thirsty because there's been a lot of people who weren't raised religious or with the belief in God. And I understand. I mean, a lot of people have a bad taste in their mouth. But, instead of throwing the baby out with the bathwater, instead of saying you aren't religious, which is totally fine, throwing out faith in God and everything with it, it leaves us with nothing, searching for anything to hold on to, for help navigating through really spiritual issues. And before that, everybody was just religious. Everybody just believed in God. But in our times, people are questioning. People are really, calling things out and interpreting it in a different way. So that's what Neville Goddard does. So let's get into it. I'll read a little bit from Your Faith is Your Fortune by Neville Goddard. And this is from the fourth chapter. We're in the kind of beginning of it, but he continues by saying, Jesus established the identity of the Father as man's awareness of being. I and my Father are one. I and my Father are one. But my Father is greater than I. So really, our subconscious and our thoughts are more powerful than our ego. I am one with all that I am conscious of being. I am greater than that which I am aware of being. The Creator is ever greater than his creation. As Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up. The serpent symbolizes man's present conception of himself as a worm of the dust, living in the wilderness of human confusion. Just as Moses lifted himself from his worm of the dust conception of himself to discover God, to be his awareness of being, I am hath sent me. So must you be lifted up. The day you claim, as did Moses, I am that I am, that day your claim will blossom into the wilderness. Your claim will blossom in the wilderness. Your awareness is the master magician who conjures all things by being that which he would conjure. Your awareness is the master magician who conjures all things by being that which he would conjure. This Lord and Master that you are can and does make all that you are conscious of being appear in your world. So let's switch it out. The Lord and Master is our mind, the power of our mind. So this Lord and Master that you are and does make, that you are, can, and does make all that you are conscious of being appear in your world. No man, manifestation, cometh unto me, save my Father draw him, and I and my Father are one. Ooh, this is good. I think I was just talking about this with somebody, how, just religion, or especially Christianity in general, says, nobody comes to me except through my Father. Or so does that mean an actual, like, if you don't believe in Jesus, you're not going to heaven. But this is saying no manifestation, anything in this world cometh unto me, save my Father draw him, and I and my Father are one. So basically that's saying that nothing will come to any of us or connect with God until through my Father, through our minds. You are constantly drawing to yourself that which you are conscious of being. You are constantly drawing to yourself that which you are conscious of being. Change your conception of yourself from that of the slave to that of Christ. Don't be embarrassed to make this claim. Only as you claim, I am Christ, will you do the works of Christ. The works I do, ye shall also do, and greater works than these shall ye do, for I go unto my Father. He made himself equal with God, and found it not robbery to do the works of God. Jesus knew that anyone who dared to claim himself to be Christ would automatically assume the capacities to express the works of his conception of Christ. Jesus also knew that the exclusive use of this principle of expression was not given to him alone. He constantly referred to his Father in heaven. We all got one of those. He stated that his works would not only be equaled, but that they would be surpassed by that man who dared to conceive himself to be greater than he, Jesus, had conceived himself to be. Jesus is stating that he and his Father were one, but that his Father was greater than he, revealed his awareness, his Father, to be one with that which he was aware of being. He found himself as Father or awareness. He found himself as Father or awareness to be greater than that which he as Jesus was aware of being. You and your conception of yourself are one. You and your conception of yourself are one. You are and always will be greater than any conception you will ever have of yourself. So we will always be, our potential is always greater than any conception that we will ever have of ourselves. The sky is the limit. Whew, we really shrink ourselves down. I mean, even in daydreaming, we don't even want to daydream. Because when we start daydreaming, we're like, well, how's that going to happen? We even limit our dreams. Like, hey, this is my dream. I can make it happen however I want. Man fails to do the works of Jesus Christ because he attempts to accomplish them from his present level of consciousness. You will never transcend your present accomplishments through sacrifice and struggle. Your present level of consciousness will only be transcended as you drop the present state and rise to a higher level. We talked about this, about you can't put old wine into new wine bottles. If you want to achieve a new consciousness, a new awareness, a new state, it's complete. There is a place. That place exists. So whatever the place you want to be that doesn't yet exist, that truly is a place. It exists. And just like Einstein, the law, space and time are all relative. It's all an illusion. Space and time is an illusion. We make it up. So really we are creating through our thoughts, our experience of our life. Not saying that every experience from everybody else we're creating, but we're at effect of it. But we are experiencing it depending on how we're thinking about it. So two people can experience the same, accident and have two totally different experiences of it because of the way they're programmed. We experience this all the time. Think of siblings. If you grew up with siblings, there is just always that battle royale of how things really went down when you grew up. And you can look at your sibling and say, what house did you grow up in? Because that's not how I experienced it. You know, people are so different. We truly create our own realities. Like when you say, wow, he's in another reality, or she's in her own world. Yeah, you better believe it. Everyone's in their own world, creating it. So it says, you will never transcend your present accomplishments. You'll never get to where you want to be. You'll never get out of the situation you're in through sacrifice and struggle. Your present level of consciousness, so your present level of how things are going right now, will only be transcended, rised up. You will only rise up out of where you're at to where you want to go when you drop the present state and rise to a higher level. Until you let go, stop grasping on out of fear, rightly so. This is when we worry. Faith and fear demand that the same amount of effort to believe in something that we can't see yet. Faith and fear demand the same amount of energy. That we believe in something that hasn't appeared yet. Faith and fear. Either faith that it'll work out or fear that it won't. Why do we lean towards the fear? Because we're programmed. And we hear that all the time. You rise to a higher level of consciousness by taking your attention away from your present limitations and placing it upon that which you desire to be. So I know it sounds so simple, and even sometimes I have to keep my face in this every day to remember. I just had a couple conversations today with people, and over the weekend I had a training for the EMDR therapy I do. Just talking about people's lives and the struggles we all go through. It's daily work. You take it day by day. You live in the present moment for today, nothing else. Tomorrow will worry for itself. I had to really come to terms with that. And if you've ever dealt with an addiction or a struggle, it's day by day. You take it one day at a time. Because really, that's all that exists. I don't know if I want to wake up tomorrow morning. The only thing that I know is I'm here right now in front of this camera in the present moment. So we rise to a higher level of consciousness by taking our attention away from our present limitations and placing it upon that which we desire to be. So just in our minds, we live in our heads the majority of the time. Why are we ruminating and hanging on and riding that train of all the crap we don't want? Yes, okay, fine, it's there. But our thoughts of today, where we dwell today, will determine where we live tomorrow. What we build today, what we put our effort in today, will be our experience tomorrow. And trust, I need to hear this more than anybody. I catch myself. What the am I doing? Hi, Jim. So you rise to a higher level of consciousness by taking your attention away from your present limitations and placing it upon that which you desire to be. I don't know if you've all seen, Jim, I hope you're listening. I don't know if you've seen The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith. Such a good movie. I'm going to watch it tonight. I'm going to watch it when I hang up with y'all. The Pursuit of Happiness. He was homeless. Bad situation with his baby, sleeping in a bathroom in the public, had no roof over his head. How did he get from where he was? This is a true story. This man that lived in San Francisco. How did he get from the shitty place, from where he was, to where he wanted to be? He went there in his mind daily, kept holding on to it amidst all the bad stuff that was happening, the stuff that wanted to make him cry and throw up, and literally sleeping on the tiles of this public bathroom floor. Either he's going to focus on that all day, like, oh my gosh, my life's screwed, I'm never going to get it, or this is where I want to be. I'm going to keep my eye focused on the prize. Do not attempt, listen to this. Do not attempt this in daydreaming or wishful thinking, but in a positive manner. Do not attempt this in daydreaming or wishful thinking, but in a positive manner. Claim yourself to be the thing desired. I am that. No sacrifice, no diet, no human tricks. All that is asked of you is to accept your desire. I just talked about this. Even when we're daydreaming, we can't even accept it. So if I'm like, okay, this is what I want. I start daydreaming. I'm like, well, then I can't, I don't have that. It's like I already limit myself even in my daydreaming. So he's saying, drop it. Don't daydream. Don't wishful think. Claim it. It's already done. What we want already exists. I use this as an example. This has always existed since the beginning of the time. Big Bang, dinosaurs, baby. This was always here as a possibility. But it wasn't until someone put thought, energy, attention, focus, and the need was there. So your dream, where you want to be, is a place. There is a place. It exists. You just have to get there. But you build it daily with your mind. Claim yourself to be the thing desired. I am that. No sacrifice, no diet, no human tricks. All that is asked of you is to accept your desire. If you dare claim it, you will express it. Meditate on these. I rejoice not in the sacrifices of men, not by might nor by power, but by my spirit. Ask and you shall receive. Come eat and drink without price. These are all Bible verses. The works are finished. All that is required of you to let these qualities into expression is the claim. I am that. The works are finished. All that is required of you to let these qualities into expression is the claim. I am that. Claim yourself to be. Claim yourself to be that which you desire to be, and that you shall be. Expressions follow the impressions. We talked about this. The expression, the visual of the film is, it comes after the impressions you put. So the film that's in front of the light gives the expression of the images on the screen. Expressions follow the impressions. So we are going to express what we impress. We are going to express what we impress. What are we impressing? We're going to express what we impress. And if we're just like, oh my God, I have no money. This is bad. I have no money. This is bad. Talking to someone who knows. Expressions follow the impressions. They do not precede them. Expressions don't come after. Lord. Proof that you are will follow the claim that you are. So proof that you are, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Okay. The proof will show up after you say it. You got to say it first. Proof that you are will follow the claim that you are. It will not precede it. So it's not just going to pop up in your life and you're going to then say, ooh, that I am. You have to claim it first. I am. Then you'll see it. For example, this phone didn't just come out of nowhere and we said, oh, we have an iPhone. Steve Jobs or Apple people. iPhone. It wasn't iPhone, then iPhone. Expressions follow the impressions. They do not precede them. Proof that you are will follow the claim that you are. It will not precede it. Leave all and follow me is a double invitation to you. First, it invites you to turn completely away from all the problems, and then it calls upon you to continue walking in the claim that you are that which you desire to be. Do not be a Lot's wife who looks back and becomes salted. So apparently a Lot's wife, she looked back and was not happy. Regrets. Don't be somebody who looks back with regret or preserved in the dead past. Yeah, don't live in the past and in regret. Do not be that person. Be a lot, apparently, he believed. Be a guy, be a person who does not look back, but who keeps his vision focused upon the promised land and things desired. So don't be a person who lives in the past, in regret, in the F-ups, and stuff that you can't control because it's over. Dead. Let the dead bury the dead. But be a person who does not look back, but who keeps your vision focused upon the promised land, the thing desired. Only focus on what you want. Do this, and you will know that you have found the master magician, making the unseen seen through the command, I am that. I'm sorry, that was so good. Y'all got me fired up with Neville. Very Jesus heavy. Love it. It was really good. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to continue with Your Faith is Your Fortune all week and see where it goes. I hope you enjoyed that. And we have our third class this Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern of Mindset and Mindfulness. And just, God, what did I want to talk about this week? About how we are going to, when we're holding two things, just kind of what we talked about here. When we want to get somewhere, but we're somewhere right now, how do we hold and keep impressing what we want? And what does that look like? What's the process? So there's an example of, our little guy here, just a little preview of the lesson. So if we had an X programming that we think all the time, and we plant the X, we're going to get X results. But if we introduce a Y idea, we're going to have an XY, XY, XY. We're going to be in chaos. Anyways, I'll explain more, but you got to show up. Zoom link, free 99, me, you, Zoom, Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific. Join the chat. It's going to be amazing. Thank you guys all for your love and support. I will see you all tomorrow.